One of the irregular verbs that you run into rather commonly in Latin is fio, fieri, factus sum. This supplies the passive of facio. So just as a reminder, facio, facere, feci, factus. You'll notice the fourth principal part is already the same as the third principal part of this verb that looks a little bit like a deponent. It's not really deponent. It's not semi-deponent. It's just its own little thing. But it supplies the passive. So if facio is to make, fio is to be made. If facio is I make, fio, I am made. You'll notice the infinitive looks a lot like an infinitive, and then the perfect is perfectly regular. That is, it looks passive and it's translated passively. So really we're only going to focus on the present system. So only the present, imperfect, and future. And it means to be made or to become. So the present indicative, so this is the present. Indicative, fio, fis, fit, fimus, fitus, fiunt. You'll notice the endings are very regular, but it looks like it's just added on to almost like an I stem or a fourth conjugation verb whose stem is just F. So fio, fis, fit, fimus, fitus, fiunt. So we've got our regular endings, O-S-T, mus, tis, unt, and the add, we will add the U there. The imperfect also actually is very regular. You have your stem of F, and it's an I stem or a fourth conjugation, and we have the EBA and the ending. So fiebam, fiebas, fiebat, fiebamus, fiebatus, fiebant. The future too is really pretty regular. It's a third, fourth conjugation, a third IO. So we have fiam, fies, fiet, fiemus, fietus, fient. The E is dominant there. The A in the first person singular, like regam, and then shifts to the E, the long E, in the rest of the futures. The present subjunctive. Also very regular. If it's a third conjugation I stem, we've got the A, so the I in the stem, fiam, fias, fiat, fiamus, fiatus, fiant. The one strange one is going to be the imperfect subjunctive. And it's strange only in as much as we have to construct that present active infinitive from the passive infinitive. So we're going to take our infinitive, fieri, and we're going to drop off the I, change it to an E, fiere, and on this, then we add our endings. So fierem, fieres, fieret, fieremus, fieretus, fierent. So you can see the actual endings and tenses of fio are pretty regular and very recognizable. Its use becomes a little more complicated, but if you remember that this is the passive of to be, to make, or rather to make or do, then you'll be all right. So we can have examples, Caesar imperator fit. Now the reason this is complicated or confusing sometimes is that to be made is really a copula. It's a copulative verb. Caesar is made general, imperator. So it's going to link two nominatives. So Caesar becomes or is made the general. Or sometimes it just has a nominative all by itself. And so fiat lux, let light, there's a hortatory subjunctive or adjussive subjunctive, let light come into being, let light be made. Or in the perfect, just as you would with the passive, or in the passive of perfect passive of facio, factus est, Marcus rex factus est, Marcus is made king. So both Marcus and rex are going to be in the nominative because this really serves as a type of linking verb. So if you keep that in mind, if you keep in mind that this is going to link to nominatives, or if it's an indirect discourse, to accusatives, you'll be perfectly fine. Whatever on one side of factus est, whatever on one side of fio, has to be on the other side.